Hello, my name is Miss Bika and welcome back to my channel, everybody. So today I'm doing my review on the previous Let's Play that I just finished, which is Battlefield 1. So Battlefield 1, it tells real untold stories and events that unfolded during World War 1. Battlefield 1 is based on events that unfolded over 100 years ago. More than 60 million soldiers fought in the war to end all wars. It ended nothing. Yet it changed the world forever. Now, I must add that the game is fictional, but it's based off of real events, if that makes sense. So, for example, the character Zara in the last chapter, when we were in like that desert and we were on the horse and everything like that, she actually is not real, but she is based on real women who have served in the revolt against the Ottomans. So, I think that's really, really cool. Now, I was actually really excited to play this game because I do come from a long line of people in my family that do and have participated in the military. I said that super weird. I'm sorry. I have a lot of people in my family that have participated in the military, especially World War One and World War Two. So I was very excited to try out this game. So again, this is why I really enjoy playing games off of real events because, especially military style games, that's mostly what I play because I get to experience what it might have been like for my ancestors. So, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get into the review, like what I liked about the game and what I didn't like. I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory about Battlefield 1 itself, and then I'll get right into what I did like about the game. So, this game actually came out in 2016, and it's the 15th installment to the Battlefield series. It is actually the third best-selling game on the Xbox One, and it sold a little over 4.3 million copies. So, I honestly think that's really impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and get into what I liked about the game, and then after that, I'll tell you what I didn't like. So stay tuned for that. I really like how they use different characters from around the world. The graphics in this game are insane, honestly. So much detail.
We were a proud unit. We changed the war for Italy. The Arditi.
And I really loved how they highlighted each chapter and event, and that kind of, it showed us, like, as the viewer, as the gamer, that, each event had a huge effect on the war. So I feel like that is very important. Like, it wasn't just one thing that changed the war, it was multiple things. So I'm glad that they highlighted that. Yeah. So one thing that really, really tugged on my heartstrings was in the very first chapter when you're kind of getting introduced to the story, and you're just as a character and trying to, like, you keep dying a bunch of times, and it shows people's names that have participated in the war and they end up dying. For me, like, when they showed the two guys at the end of this bloodbath, just two guys fighting on each side, they're just pointing guns at each other, and then they end up not killing each other. That honestly, for me, it shows like the realism and humanity, and at the end of the day, we are all just humans. So I think starting out with that, you kind of get into a different perspective as you're going further through the game.
They push. We push. Every once in a while, we push hard enough that the light breaks through the clouds, and a world beyond the war glimmers, just out of reach. The war is the world, and the world is the war. But behind every gun sight is a human being. We are those people. We are the jaded, we are the naive, we are the honorable and the criminal. We are the bound for legend and the lost to history. We are the knights of the sky, the ghosts in the desert, and the rats in the mud. These are our stories.
So there was, unfortunately, a couple of things that I wasn't really fond of. One being that the story mode was way too short. Like, I enjoyed this game so much, and yet the story mode was way too short. For example, Far Cry Primal, like, that Let's Play, I mean, I've been neck and neck with both Battlefield 1 and Far Cry Primal, and I'm hitting only halfway through Far Cry Primal. So this game is just way too short. Like, I enjoyed it way too much. I think they maybe should have added like more events. That's just my opinion. I mean, honestly, they can't really change it now because I mean, this game has been out for quite a while. But in my opinion, if they could change one thing about it, I definitely would suggest like more events. It's just an amazing game, honestly. And I also didn't like how in the beginning, when you read like about what's gonna happen in the next chapter, they didn't like give me enough time to read it, and I don't know if that was honestly just me, because I do kind of have a stutter and I do slur my words sometimes. But for me, if they would have added like an extra 5 seconds, I mean that would have helped me, because I mean, if I was like when I was reading it out loud, if I even hiccuped a little bit, I would be off and I couldn't even finish my sentence. So it's kind of unfortunate. Like, if they would have added 5 more seconds, I think that would have been great. At least for me, maybe not for everybody, but that's just me. And I hated how when I was like that tank driver, I can't really remember his name, it's been too long, but when I was the tank driver, I had to eventually go and search for parts for my tank because we broke down in the middle of driving it, so we had to go to like the next village that was close by, and I had to search for engine parts. And well, when I was searching, I didn't know really what I was supposed to be doing. I mean, they had like these little diamonds on the mini map of like where I was supposed to go, and so I'd go in that area, but I didn't realize that when you get close to the engine parts on the mini map, you'll have like this really light circle, and I honestly didn't know that until like I was already like 30 minutes into trying to find what I was supposed to be doing, which kind of was really frustrating, and I kind of thought to myself, like, this shouldn't be taking this long. I think if they would have gave me a hint, like maybe if I got into that first circle, like, hey, this is, you gotta search this area. But yeah, they didn't really tell me that, so it was kind of frustrating. But yeah, it took me way too long at that section. Can I just throw a grenade, or will they know where that came from? Or am I supposed to be secret? Let's see. Are they in these windmills? Okay, there's a... What would I need a horse for? Oh my freaking lord, I'm so confused. Am I even supposed to scope in these areas? Vic? I'm very confused. I don't want to spend like 40 minutes like sniping people. What in the world? Am I supposed to like kill certain people and then it'll... I guess I was just supposed to go in the areas where I kill people. Overall, I'm really, really happy with how this game turned out, and I really enjoyed at the end of the game how they like made this like kind of ending. If you want to play this game, definitely do it. Like, you won't be disappointed, I promise. But I really appreciate you guys watching.
One day, all this will be over. The war to end all wars will be won by one side or the other. The guns will rust, grass will grow, and there'll be nothing left of any of this. The land will heal itself, as everything does in the end. We'll be long gone by then, but maybe not forgotten. History only remembers 1 in 1,000 of us. Then the future will be filled with stories of who we were and what we did, how we lived, how we fought, and how we died. When this is all over and the war is won, they will remember us. But until that day comes, we will stand. We will look death in the eye. And we will fight.